Peace and love. Welcome back. Hope everybody's staying blessed. It's been a minute. Hope everybody's staying healthy. Today's video is a book review of this book right here. This book is called Crisis of Conscience. And it was written by this man here. His name is Ray Franz. And the book is A Crisis of Conscience is sort of an autobiography of his life and his experience being one of the leaders or a member of the leadership of the Jehovah's Witness organization, and his subsequent being cast out and the different trials and tribulations he went through. But this book is kind of, you could call it a black book. Because for people who are involved in the Watchtower organization, this is forbidden fruit. Even having this book in your home could get you cast out. Any dealings with this book. And so that makes it a very provocative piece of material. Now, one thing that I noticed, just right off the bat, from reading this book, is it's pretty obvious why they don't want anybody to see it. Because the way that Ray Franz breaks down his experience within the organization and the way that he was cast out, it's nothing but the truth. It's straight truth, documented truth, you know. And at a time like this, when truth is so obscure, it's more important than ever to be able to hear someone's unadulterated version of the truth. Now, when we talk about a crisis of conscience, you know, many people are defined by their experiences, our experiences when we're young, you know, and some people go through all kinds of different things. Some people go through divorce, and some people go through abuse, and some people go through religion, through the trials that religion can bring into one's life. And, you know, people come and go from religions all the time, you know, but when we talk about the Watchtower organization, there's no coming or going from that organization without paying some kind of a price, you know. And I guess we all get to a point in life where you have nothing to lose but to speak the truth. See, I don't like to offend people. I really don't. I love to speak the truth, but I don't want to hurt people's feelings. And I understand there's so many different beliefs and ideologies and spiritualities out there that, you know, who are we? Who's anybody to sit in and call down one religion or another religion? But I guess you get to a point where you have nothing to lose but to say F people's feelings and just speak the truth. Alright, and when we talk about Crisis of Conscience, this book here, this is the truth. And if you're a person who's gone through religious torment, being cast out of religion, being cut out of your family, having friends stripped from you, having people that you knew for 30 years won't even look at you when you walk past them in the street. You know, I just had a funny experience. See, when I was involved in the organization as a young man, growing up, I would, you know, I was under the tutelage of many older men, you know, and there was one in particular older man who was, you know, he was always looking out for me, and it was, you know, it was important. It was an important part of my life. But as I sort of made my transition spiritually and the decisions we all make as adults, and I chose that this wasn't something that I wanted to be involved with, this man was very judgmental and sort of stripping ties, all ties, and basically saying, hey, if you don't want to be involved in this, I don't want nothing to do with you, right? Now, okay, no big deal. Who gives a shit, right? That happens. Now, the issue is when that happens to a young man, 17, 18 years old, that is reliant on that kind of support that has tremendous effects on people. And this type of thing happens every single day to all kinds of young men and women. Is that based off one decision, they could find themselves cast out and stripped of important family and social ties, perhaps forever. Now, the funny thing about this particular individual is that I just recently found out that this individual decided, hey, he didn't want anything to do with the organization either. So he pieced out, left his wife, picked up some young thing, and now he's off doing whatever the fuck. So, hypocrisy, there's no shortage of hypocrisy, okay? And for a long time, I really avoid talking about these types of things, and I've even avoided this book. But after that, that was kind of the last straw, and I really don't care anymore. You know, I don't care about protecting people's feelings over speaking the important truth. And you know what? This may not be material that pertains to everybody. If you never went through the ringer of religion, particularly the Jehovah's Witnesses, or you never experienced being cast out or being cut down or being judged or being shunned, then this really maybe isn't the video for you. You know what I mean? Next week, we'll catch up next week. But if you have gone through anything like this book, now, you know what's funny about this book? It's taken me almost a year to read this book. Because periodically as I would read it, I would have these flashbacks of little conscientious moments of thought that I used to have when I was involved. And I thought, oh, I probably shouldn't read this, you know. When things started to get a little too graphic. When I say graphic, I mean he goes into the inner workings of the organization, which most people have no clue about the inner workings of the organization, and that's the way that it works. You see, the key to certain people maintaining control is them controlling everything. I'm gonna say it again. The key to certain people maintaining control is by controlling everything. So you just say, hey, anyone who reads this book is sinning against Jehovah. That's a powerful statement, isn't it? Because now, you know, this is a you and God thing, right? This isn't just a book that people don't want you to read. When that ideology is put into people's minds, that by questioning things or looking at material that questions things, that you're questioning God, wow, what a shame and what a sham. And that's exactly how it works, is control people, control what people read, control what people think, control who people spend time around, including family. You know, and right now as we go through this experience, we're blessed, okay? My family is close. We're able to see each other. We're able to be around each other in a safe way. But right now, what we witness as we look at the pandemic or the plandemic, whatever you want to think. If you look at this throughout the whole world, the biggest maybe pain of this experience for everybody is not the disease itself, but it's the separation that people have from other people. We hear of the sad stories of elderly ones not able to see their grandchildren and how much of a significant effect that has on their well-being and health. And so we really quickly realize that the most important thing that we got going right now is people, right? Because your Mercedes doesn't matter right now. Your bank account, well, if you can't go out, if you can't go on vacation, you can't go to the store, you can't go to the mall, you can't do what you want to do, then who gives a shit how much money you got? What matters is the people. And so when you have a group, an organization that hides under the veil of being a religion, and their modus operandi is to take people and condition them in such a way that if they step out of line just one bit, they'll lose their family, they'll lose their friends. That's a terrorist organization. When someone loses all their family and all their friends, you've terrorized them, right? And often leaving them with only one way back to their friends and family, and that's through the religion. So many people end up in a situation where you're having a crisis of conscience, where you know that something that you're witnessing or you're experiencing is wrong. You know what's going on is wrong. Everybody knows that that's wrong. I mean, people can see. It's easy to see when you have an open heart. But the crisis of conscience comes in where there's fear of the backlash. If I say something, if I comment on what's going on, if I stand up for the truth, what will that backlash be? And that's where the crisis comes in, because many people stay quiet, and that eats them up. It destroys them. And that's why it's important to speak the truth, to read the truth. And this book is the truth. The one thing that stood out to me maybe the most about this book, my daughter's going on. The one thing that stuck out to me the most about this book is the importance of having a personal relationship with God. Now, if you don't believe in God, well, that's a whole nother topic. But as believing individuals who believe in a higher power, if that relationship that you have with that higher power is not personal, if there's a group or an institution that controls your relationship with the higher power, then it's not really your relationship with the higher power. You know, a personal relationship with God is between you and that power. So one thing that was the ultimate takeaway is witnessing how that was the truth for this man, you know. But I don't want to give too much away. I just want to encourage that everybody read this book, because this man's story, you know, I mean, a friend of mine gave me this book, a dear friend, and I like I said, I was so hesitant to read it, but now that I have, I'm so thankful, because this is a piece of truth, and from a wise man. This man is a wise man, and the advice that he has, spiritually and otherwise, is gems and gold. So that's what it is for today. I'm wishing everybody peace, love. Take back your power. Read this book, A Crisis of Conscience by Ray Franz, the XJW governing body member, cast out, cast down, nothing else to lose. He tells the truth. So stay up, like, subscribe, peace, love, talk soon.